Tonight on News 5 Live, 6 police officers are placed on suspension following the negligent death of Derek U. Government braces for a hefty payout in compensation to U family. And the UDP saga continues. College area rep Patrick Fauber makes another Facebook post despite being sanctioned by the executives of the party. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Make your summer better. Over $35,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Purchase any device, sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan, use $50 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text to the short code. You win 8946. And in the body of the message, enter the number of inches you would like to purchase. Each entry costs only 50 cents.
Don't waste any time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes starting July 1st. All methods give you more chances to win. Airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize of a $10,000 shopping spree courtesy Court and Smart.
Promotion ends September 16, 2022. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Thank you for supporting us throughout our journey over the years. Thank you for helping us to expand and improve our products and services. Thank you for allowing us to form new partnerships and develop new and exciting promotions. And thank you for being patient with us during these changing times. As we continue our journey, we would like to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you.
Venice, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings.
Your Tuesday night entertainment is back. KTV The Remix Season 4.
KTV.
Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Coney Drive at $3 for children and $5 for adults. Mask will be required. Or you can watch it live on Channel 5 or streaming on Facebook. The show starts at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. KTV The Remix Season 4. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, August 16th. I am Sabrina Daly. The result of a post-mortem examination is still outstanding following the death of Derek U. The 20-year-old Cristo Rey resident was detained by officers at the San Joaquin Fiesta in Corozal for allegedly touching a woman inappropriately. He was placed inside a police prison van and was left unattended for over 12 hours before he was discovered dead. Tonight, we can confirm that 6 police officers who were on duty that night have been placed on suspension as the investigation continues on what can only be described as a gross breach of protocol. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
A copy of a police report has been circulating online that chronicles what happened over the weekend in San Joaquin when 20-year-old Derek O was detained by police. A diarist on duty at the event logged his detention and that of another individual, Alonzo Kawa, a resident of San Joaquin Village. A debriefing was held by Inspector Isaias Sanchez, who informed the officers that Kawa was to be released, while O was to be taken to the Corozal police station to be processed for an investigation relating to an alleged assault of a female. The tragedy has rocked the department.
It is truly an unthinkable travesty, something that none of us could ever fathom could possibly take place, and a series of missteps and mishaps that has resulted in this absolutely heinous tragedy. We will ensure that this is a thorough, comprehensive, and fully transparent investigation into this, what I have to categorize as a wrongful death instance. Up to this time, there is nothing to suggest that there was any intentional killing of Derek O. I want to make that clear. As of this point, there is a post-mortem examination which will be conducted, which will certainly give a lot of give a lot of information towards this investigation, and so we're looking forward to that, to the outcome of that post-mortem.
Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa says that 6 officers are on suspension pending the investigation into the negligent death of the youth at the hands of the police.
12 statements have been recorded, and from initially the initial statements that the police have gathered so far, the police has actually determined that 6 officers, not necessarily all of them we can categorically state are guilty of any offense, but there are 6 officers that are being questioned at the moment, and certainly you can expect not just charges in terms of a criminal tribunal at the police level, but also criminal charges in our court system.
It is believed that there was a breakdown in detention protocol that led to the death of the young man. Based on the report, a custody record was created at the command center established at the Fiesta. The minimum condition of detention, as per Section 13 of the Commissioner's guidelines, were breached. The police van, which was used as a holding cell, was not adequately ventilated. There was no access to toilets and washing facilities, and neither of the officers visited the detainee every hour. Minister Musa says that from the very outset, there were missteps on the part of the police.
If you look at the very first point, which is that, in my opinion, and I'm not aware of any policy, that individuals are supposed to be detained in a van. I think that is the starting point, that this individual, Mr. Derek O, ought not to have been detained, even though temporarily, inside the van. What should have happened, in my opinion, is that a mobile should have been called, even though it's a distance away from the Corozal police station. A mobile should have been called to come and pick up Derek O, and he should have been taken to the police station if it is that there were allegations made against him. And so from the very outset, that, in my opinion, was a huge misstep on the part of the police at the San Joaquin Fiesta Showgrounds. Secondly, what the investigation is showing so far is that there was not a proper briefing and there was not a proper handing over, because the officers who took the van to the police station were not the original officers who had detained Derek O. And so in the process of handing over the detainee, there should have been a proper briefing and communication by the officers who had originally detained Derek O, and that should have been communicated to the drivers who then took the van to the police station with Mr. Derek O inside the van.
All of Belize is feeling a lot of pain and a lot of anger about this situation, and questioning how it is that such a gross error could have been made. What have been the protocols, or what should have been the protocols, applied to ensure that this gentleman, this young man really, moved from his detention in the van, which is itself not appropriate if you were to ask me, and placed in the police station whenever the time came. I just question all of that. What was in place? Was protocol followed? Is there even a protocol? Because it's amounting to gross negligence that really caused death of this young man, an untimely death, a gruesome death.
Minister Musa says that the officers responsible are at risk of being dismissed from the department.
I'm not casting a net on all 6 officers, but I'm just mentioning to you that 6 officers who have been named have been placed on suspension. But yes, it may certainly result in some of them or all of them being dismissed and charged.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
But how can the police department investigate its own? Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa told the media today that the family has been afforded the opportunity to appoint a person to oversee the investigation and liaise with the chief investigators, Senior Superintendent Ilberto Romero and Assistant Superintendent Jamie Gonzalez. Minister Musa says that the department concedes that the inactions of the police officers led to U's death.
I have every confidence in our forensics department. The forensics department is not the police department, as you are aware. There is a post-mortem being conducted as we speak, and that is not being conducted by the police department. And so there is no need, like I said, at this moment to say we need outside forensic information or outside forensic experts. I have, like I said, trust and confidence in our forensics department to carry out a thorough, comprehensive analysis of this instance. And like you said, this is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill case. As a matter of fact, the police is saying, the Minister of Police is saying, the police is at fault. So it's not a case where you have to worry that there's any sort of cover-up. We are saying that the police is responsible. We are telling you right off the bat where we have identified the points of weaknesses and the missteps that have been made. But certainly the post-mortem and the forensics examination that will come out, if there is any sort of injury to that individual that might suggest there was another reason for his death, you can best believe that will come out from a post-mortem. And 2, you can best believe that the police department will take criminal action in the event there's any sort of suggestion that there might have been something untoward and not just an instance of complete and gross neglect.
Will the O family be compensated for the wrongful death of Derek? That was a question posed to the Minister of Home Affairs earlier today. While legal recourse via a civil suit can be pursued by the family, Minister Musa believes that, as in the case of Laddie Gillett and Allison Major, O's family should be compensated for their loss, and the Attorney General Ministry should determine the quantum.
Not just in the instance of Derek O, but in the instance of Laddie Gillett, in the instance of Allison Major, in the instance of Mr. Jules Vasquez's brother. These are all instances where there has been negligence by the police department. And these are instances, and I've said it previously in an interview, that I believe the focus of the Attorney General's ministry in the civil suits is to assess the quantum that should be awarded to these families. And it should not be cases that have to go to a court of law for determination, because these are instances where it is clear that members of the police department, whether by action or inaction, caused the death of these 4 individuals.
In the wake of Derek U's death, the United Democratic Party called for the removal of Compol Chester Williams, CEO Kevin Arthurs, and Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa. Today, Musa responded by apologizing to U's family and chiding the UDP chairman Michael Perifit for politicizing the tragedy.
I find it truly regrettable that Mr. Perifit would use an occasion like this, which has nothing to do with the Minister of Police, nothing to do with Chester Williams or the CEO, and to try to gain some sort of political mileage out of it. That's truly unfortunate and regrettable, and I have to apologize to the family on his behalf that they would use something like this. I know they're going through their own turmoil as a political party, but this is not the time or the occasion to be playing politics. Something truly regrettable has happened here. And again, not the fault of the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner cannot micromanage every single police officer. And this truly comes down to common sense, Hippolito, common sense and basic training of handing over. So that police officer who detained and handed over Mr. O, I think it is clear to be seen that that individual is responsible. How that falls on a minister or a CEO or a commissioner, it behooves me. And like I said, it's unfortunate that that's the type of political game that they're playing, but I guess the hunger continues, no?
In late July, a state of emergency was declared for Lake Independence as a reaction to the increased tension and gun violence in that area of Southside Belize City. It is a Band-Aid solution which will expire at the end of the month. But how effective has it been? Over the past 2 weeks, while there have been no reports of murders in the city, Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa says that it is difficult to measure the level of success of the SOE. So there are interventions still being carried out by William Dawson of the Leadership Intervention Unit. Minister Musa says that the SOE was not the first option, but it is serving its purpose.
The state of emergency is not our first recourse as an administration, and certainly not for the police department either. But in terms of saving lives, knock on wood, we haven't had any retaliation since the SOE was called. But again, I don't want to say that the SOE is a solution. I don't want to ever be misconstrued as saying that. It is just that the intelligence and information that the department was receiving at the material time suggested that there was going to be a series of retaliations, and we had a duty and an obligation to stop that from taking place. We still have interventions going on. Mr. Dawson from the LIU continues to do his work, he and his team, and I want to thank him for his work. But at the end of the day, like I said, it depends how you measure the success of an SOE. At the end of the day, it has served its purpose, in my opinion, in quelling the violence, at least temporarily. It's a Band-Aid fix. It's not a fix, but hopefully cooler heads can prevail. And when the young men are released at the end of the month, hopefully there is no retaliation.
Minister Musa says that 3 individuals who were initially detained in the sweep of the state of emergency were released from custody following a risk analysis. Coming up, San Ignacio Mayor Earl Trapp writes UDP chairman expressing concerns over internal rift. Details when we return.
Hello friends, this is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doth a little folly to him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. The New Living Translation says dead flies will cause even a bottle of perfume to stink. Yes, a small mistake can outweigh much wisdom and honor. Paul Hogan, Australian comedian, actor, and television personality, once said to a group of hopefuls about to begin their television careers, "You're here to sweat. This program is live. There's about 1,000 million people watching you. So you remember, one wrong word, one foolish gesture, and your whole career could go down in flames. Hold that thought and have a nice night." That one wrong word or wrong action has been the fly in the ointment that has ruined many lives and careers. It happened to Roger Ailes, 76-year-old American media consultant, television executive, founder and former chairman and CEO of Fox News, from which he resigned in July of 2016 over sexual harassment allegations. He was ultimately found guilty and fined, losing his revered position. He spent 20 years helping build a network that took him only 15 days to end in shame. There was a fly in the ointment that was not removed and turned the sweet perfume of a successful life terribly sour. This happens far too often to men of wisdom and honor who become so conceited and confident and careless that they simply do not detect the buzz of the flies before it is too late. Watch out for the flies in the ointment. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Buenos días. 2 boletos para Jicacas, por favor. ¿Ida y vuelta?
54. Ese dinero es falso.
¿Falso? Sí, este billete es falso.
¿Y por qué es falso?
Porque un verdadero billete de $50 tiene una marca de agua en la forma de un jaguar, con la marca de agua y electrotipia de denominación y un hilo de seguridad.
Conozca su dinero. Reconozca el billete falso al verlo. No se confíe en solo una de las características de seguridad. Busque la claridad y calidad de la impresión. Las líneas y el color impresos deben ser nítidas y claras. Sienta la calidad del papel y de la impresión levantada. Ponga el billete a la luz y observe. El hilo de seguridad avantanillada debe formar una línea completa cuando se pone a la luz. La marca de agua y la electrotipia de denominación, el Jaguar, es la marca de agua en los billetes de $100 y $50. El gigante dormido es la marca de agua en los billetes de $20, $10, $5 y $2. El registro perfecto. Las partes del diseño impreso en la parte posterior deben caber exactamente dentro de las áreas sin imprimir en el frente del billete para formar el diseño completo. Revise los billetes de $100 para saber si está el holograma del tucán con la impresión sobrepuesta de la flor de vinca per vinca. Inclínelo para ver las imágenes pequeñas del tucán y el numeral 100. Revise los billetes de $50 para saber si está la imagen del pez ángel en color verde plateado. Mira más cerca. Utilice luz ultravioleta para ver los elementos fluorescentes. Utilice una lupa para ver las letras más pequeñas que leen Central Bank of Belize y el valor del billete. Detenga la circulación de los billetes beliceños falsos. Pasa todas las falsificaciones a la policía inmediatamente. Es una ofensa criminal guardar o utilizar falsificaciones. Esté a salvo, esté seguro, conozca su dinero.
The public saga that's being perpetuated within the United Democratic Party over decisions made by its leadership has spilled over into another day. Party Chairman Michael Perifete explained to the media that former leader, call it Area Representative Patrick Faber, was removed from the party's Central Executive Committee on Monday for refusing to remove Facebook posts against the party leadership. While Perifete said that Faber could be reinstated as soon as he removes the posts, Faber did the exact opposite and added another post to his page. This one is themed, quote, "Destroying the UDP, endangering Belize, stand up against Shine," end quote. It accuses the current party leader, Shine Barrow, of running a dictatorship, systematically violating the UDP constitution and trying to silence those who speak out against him. He went on to criticize the removal of Albert Area Representative Tracy Panton from the Central Executive Committee and replacing her with, quote, "a junior politician of questionable ethics and integrity," unquote. Panton was replaced by Melvin Hewlett, who ran in Fort George for the UDP in 2021. On Monday, Perifete said that Panton's replacement took place in as similar a fashion as her appointment did.
Well, there was never a removal because in a response to a letter that I sent to Honorable Tracy Panton, she was never by the Constitution legally put in place or in charge of the central region. When the past party leader was at the helm and the current party leader was at the helm, we decided to put people in place in the meantime just to ensure that we would have some leadership and continuity at the different divisions of the party. But then we decided right after the convention to go into formally deciding on who will be in these positions. Under the party constitution, the regions, like the central region, for example, the caretakers and our standard bearers would get together and decide who they want to be a central leader. And if they can come to some consensus, then that person is the leader. If they cannot come to a consensus and more than one persons indicate they want the job, then you have a convention being voted for by the caretakers in the region, along with any members of the central executive who live in that region and the delegates of the party from that region. It was put in a group chat in that particular subgroup of anybody who would be interested to vie for the position. A deadline was given, a date was given, all preparations were made, and only Mr. Hewlett submitted his name. So I don't see how, I really don't see the issue. I mean, what are we supposed to say? No, Mr. Hewlett, we really don't want you, so since you're the one who puts in your name, we're going to install somebody else. No, that's not how it works.
The UDP's only elected mayor, Earl Trapp, has also penned a few lines on his opinion of the ongoing internal rift. He addressed his views in the form of a letter sent to the party's chairman, Michael Perifete. In it, he also expressed concern over, quote, the worrying instability in our party, unquote, and the decisions to install people in positions without adhering to the party's constitution. Trapp also expressed regret that the chances for a scheduled meeting among party leader Shine Barrow, former leader Patrick Fauber, and candidate for leader Tracy Panton have been significantly diminished because of the most recent developments. Trapp writes in part, quote, let me place on record my gratitude to Honorable Tracy Panton and Honorable Patrick Fauber for giving party unity a chance, while Honorable Shine Barrow must also be thanked for the overture that enabled the engagement and dialogue. I feel obliged to urge him to do all that he can to ensure compliance with the party's constitution and to promote the kind of fair play that would be conducive to meaningful unification, unquote. Trapp goes on to express his regret over a similar appointment that was made in his municipality. He states, quote, I note with regret the situation here in the Cayo district, where the installation of a new regional leader for the Western Zone was allowed to proceed, with the party leader's blessing, despite a petition of protest signed by more than half of the delegates and party officials, including myself, throughout the 6 Cayo constituencies, unquote. Chairman Perifete said briefly that the appointment in Cayo happened much like it did in Belize City, where there was no contest for the position.
It was a similar thing that happened in the West. Only one person indicated that they wanted to be the regional leader for that era, and so that was what happened. The same thing that happened up north and the same thing that happened down south. So I don't know, when you say violate the Constitution, violate it how? Because in the letters that I get from varying members of the party, they fail to tell me exactly what their issue is.
A woman from San Ignacio town is urging the Belize Police Department to act swiftly in detaining her ex-common law husband, Ludin Nahera, after he allegedly attacked her in a fit of jealousy outside of a nightclub. Angela Lima says she was out with her former partner on Saturday night when he became jealous after she began greeting friends. She says that he insisted on taking her home, but after she refused to go with him, Nahera allegedly turned on her and began punching her in the face. She says she went to file a report at the San Ignacio police station after she was released from the hospital. 3 days have since passed with no updates from the police on her report, as she eagerly awaits her day in court. She is now demanding that officers act with a greater sense of urgency. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
28-year-old San Ignacio resident Angela Lemos is alleging that Ludin Nahera, her ex-common-law husband, assaulted her outside of a nightclub on Saturday night. Following the attack, her former partner left her with lacerations over the left eye and nose. She was bleeding profusely from the nose and forehead, according to her medical legal report form. Lemos shared details of the horrific encounter with us via telephone.
We were in a club where I had a lot of friends. They come by and hear me, and they was buzzing me and things like that. And he got I think jealous. I don't know how to really say it, but he started telling me that if I want those guys to go with these guys, they're accusing me of things that are not. So he wanted to force me to go home with him in the vehicle, and then that's where things happened because I didn't want to go with him.
That is when Nahera reportedly began using brute force against her in front of a crowd of partygoers.
Constantly, without stop, he started hitting me all over my face. I have some bruises on my body, but mostly on my face. At the time that he was hitting me, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see what was going on afterwards. So I am very thankful that they had a lot of people out there that came and took him off from on top of me. Wow. So he stopped hitting me.
Lemos says she proceeded to file a report against Nahera at the San Ignacio police station on Sunday.
Police have told me, I made my formal report and told me that they're going to deal with the matter, which is that they haven't captured him yet, and I think he's on the run. That they have hold him, but they haven't informed me anything as yet. They haven't called me and tell me what's going on or more details about what may happen, because I want to make a formal report so that I could take him to court.
She shared her story to give a voice to other victims of domestic violence, as well as to get the police in her town to act with a greater sense of urgency.
I don't know what could happen if they didn't help me. That's the reason that I'm asking the police them to do their job and to capture him. Because it's not fair that a guy like him is out there as yet and they're not doing nothing about it. He's on the run, but I still need them to move forward and to show me that we women can make our report and can feel that we have them on our side, that they're actually there to help us.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
We contacted the police to find out if the accused has been captured. Up to news time, we did not receive a response. Earlier today, we got a chance to speak with Tania Santos, the CEO in the Ministry of Human Development, who commented on the high number of domestic violence reports in Belize. Here are her thoughts on how these acts of gender-based violence can be decreased.
It's the same with child abuse, doing that these men and the women who abuse men also feel that it's their right to hit a woman. It's their right to control and to abuse and to hurt a woman or a man in the other case. And it never is. And domestic violence and dealing with domestic violence victims and survivors is not easy. Because there are times when, there's intervention after intervention after intervention. And no matter what you do, it's really up to the mother, the woman, to take that step out. But on the other hand, we have to deal with the perpetrators. We seem to have also a concept in our mind that the woman has to do something about the violence against her. Yes, she wants to survive, but he has to do something about the violence he's inflicting. And I think we're also not paying sufficient attention to what is happening on that side. It could be that we're not doing enough in that arena. It could be that there are other entities that can work more in the area of the violence that's being inflicted. But it could also be that in our in our legal system. We have to impose the right penalties, and we have to become more aware that these perpetrators, we have to send a message that it will not be tolerated anymore.
Over the past 2 weeks, there have been multiple reports of minors being victims of sexual assault and rape, some by people they know or from within their household. Earlier today, News 5 had the opportunity to speak with CEO Tanya Santos-Neal from the Ministry of Human Development about the increasing number of reported cases. While she says that the reports indicate that victims are coming forward, there are many more that are unreported.
What I believe is happening is that people are feeling more comfortable to come out and report these cases of abuse. Sadly, I believe it is very, very common. I almost want to think it's a cultural thing that people feel it's okay to do that to a child. It is not. Leave the children alone. It is a crime. And there is no way that a government, a ministry can tackle that. It's not the police that will handle that. It's not the Ministry of Human Development and Social that will stop that. It starts in the home. It is wrong. Do not do it. Do not touch the children. We are here to protect our children, to nurture them to be productive citizens. It's so commonplace, I believe. We get much more reports than you see on the media. And we deal with them, we address them quietly, we do our work, but in truth and honesty, we can't keep up. So it is a situation where the community as a whole has to become more involved. We have to go back to this concept of family, building strong families with strong values and strong ethics to make sure that we understand that these things are wrong. And when you see it, do something about it. If you know it, do something about it. If you hear it might be happening, address it.
After the break, the Minister of Education says that plans are on target for the reopening of schools.
National MSME Roadshow, geared towards building the resilience of MSMEs and developing a national MSME directory. Sign up for this 3-day event filled with intensive boot camps, presentations, MSME support and formalization clinics, pop-up shops, and more to help you develop and promote your business. The National MSME Roadshow will be in Corozal starting August 24th, Orange Walk August 31st, Billy City September 7th, Punta Gorda September 14th, Key Cocker September 22nd, Belmopan September 28th, San Ignacio and San Helena on October 5th, Dangriga October 12th, Placencia October 19th, and closes in San Pedro from October 26th. Learn more and sign up for the National MSME Roadshow by visiting the Beltrade Facebook page or call or WhatsApp us at 613-5139. And let's get your business on the road.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package includes 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Congratulations! You just completed doing home improvements and renovations to your home. However, were you planning to tell your insurance company about the recent home improvements? Do you know that this is important? Utmost good faith is an insurance principle that requires both you and the insurance company to act honestly and not mislead or withhold critical information from each other. In other words, an addition to your home, or if you have converted your home into a business, is something that you should inform your insurance company of. This is information that may affect your policy coverage and could impact future claims you make to your insurance company. For more information on utmost good faith and your coverage options, our friendly representatives will be happy to assist you. Call us at 223-5734 or visit our website at www.rfginsurancepolice.com to find an agent near you. Don't forget, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Row Group company.
Your Tuesday night entertainment is back. KTV The Remix Season 4. KTV. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Coney Drive at $3 for children and $5 for adults. Mask will be required. Or you can watch it live on Channel 5 or streaming on Facebook. The show starts at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. KTV The Remix Season 4. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
18 promising students attending government schools across Belize who needed assistance to either begin or continue their high school education have received scholarship certificates and stipends through a joint effort of the Government of Taiwan and the Office of the Special Envoy. The sponsorship, which has the blessings of the Ministry of Education, is a new initiative started by the Government of Taiwan based on needs and requests made through the Office of the Special Envoy. Here's News 5's Marian Ali with the details.
18 Belizean teenagers, many of whom are from rural communities and who wanted to either start or continue their high school education, will have the chance to do so through assistance provided by the Government of Taiwan. On Monday, the students received scholarship certificates following requests by the Office of the Special Envoy for sponsorship from the Taiwanese Embassy. Special Envoy Rosanna Briceño announced that the assistance also includes money to cover either books or uniforms.
These scholarships will ensure an opportunity for learning, guaranteeing an education to our children and assisting our children in their development and future lives. The honorees who are here today come from humble homes countrywide and are most deserving of this scholarship. Along the way, someone or something sparked their curiosity. Someone introduced them to a future they never envisioned and somehow inspired them to persevere despite their many challenges.
Taiwanese ambassador to Belize, David Kwan Chow Chien, encouraged the students to study hard, keep focused, and to contribute to Belize's development when they are finished with their studies.
We sincerely hope these cooperation projects and programs will strengthen our partnership and also advance Belize's national development. Especially in education, we attach a lot of importance to the bilateral educational cooperation programs because we know education is a pillar of our national development and our young generation is the future hope of our society, of our nation, even our world.
Minister of Education Francis Fonseca reminded that the education of Belize's children is prioritized in the national budget and that his ministry supports these kinds of investments in our future leaders.
For us in Belize, there is no better investment than the education of our young people. Education is not just about sitting in a classroom and learning. That's important. But really the ultimate goal of education is improving the quality of life of our people. When people have an opportunity to get an education, they lead better lives. They lead more meaningful lives. They lead more productive lives. And they more positively contribute to the growth of our society.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
The new school year is less than a month away from opening, and the Ministry of Education is ready for that date. Today we caught up with Minister of Education Francis Fonseca, who said that the ministry is prepared for the start of a new school year with everyone back in person, following interruptions since 2020 with the COVID-19 pandemic. He also said that there have been no hiccups for the start of a new program by the ministry to completely sponsor the students of 4 Southside government schools as of this September.
We're excited about the opportunities this year. We've been doing a lot of work over the summer. We've had a very good Let's Catch Up summer program still going on to try to help a targeted group of young people so that they're better ready for the new school year. So a lot of work has been going on, and we think we'll have a very successful academic year. We're on target with the Education Upliftment Project, Together We Rise, 4 government schools on the south side of Belize City. So things are going well. That's a comprehensive program that not only provides free tuition and fees, but also provides healthy start feeding programs in each of these schools. We provide our students with uniforms, with books, with digital devices. We're also doing infrastructure work at these schools to improve the learning environment. So everything is on track.
Belizean powerlifter Alita Sharp dominated the competition at the 19th North American Powerlifting Competition in Panama City. Sharp broke 2 North American records, tied a 3rd record, and captured gold in the Master 2 52 kilos open class. Team Belize is also celebrating a bronze medal in the 57 kilo open class, captured by Edith Ruiz, and a bronze medal in the 63 kilo open class, captured by Jacqueline Alice. We spoke with Sharp via Zoom this afternoon.
So far, I've earned a gold medal in my category, Masters 2, 52 kilos. And I also broke the squat record, the North American squat record, and then set a new one. And then I broke the bench press record and set a new one. I tied the deadlift record, and I broke the point total record and set a new one. You know, when you've had a goal that you've been working on for such a long time, I set this goal over a year ago. We had last year's national meet in June of 2021, and I set this goal shortly after that. So to have worked all year long, losing the weight, slow enough so that I could keep my strength that I had at the higher body weight, it's been a challenge. You know, there were a lot of tears and a lot of doubt and fear along the way, but to have made it to this point and to have accomplished 3 of my 4 goals, I'm just so excited. On the same day that I competed, Edith Rocio also competed in the 57 kilo class in the open, and she placed 3rd, so she won a bronze medal. So on the very opening day, we took home a gold and a bronze for Belize. This morning, Jacqueline Alas competed in the 63 kilo open class, and she also earned a bronze medal there.
When we return, when will fuel prices in Belize decrease? But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special Smart Stream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with Smart Stream.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging would be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to Earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Fuel prices are falling globally. Last week, the global benchmark for oil prices has fallen below $100 per barrel, down from over $120 in June. So, when will Belizeans be able to take advantage of these decreasing fuel prices at the pumps? As we have reported, the government of Belize intends to first recover the revenues foregone after decreasing the excise duty for diesel and regular gasoline. PM Briceño explained in a previous interview that there will be a gradual reduction of prices, possibly over a period of 1 to 2 years. On Monday, Dr. Osman Martinez, the CEO in the Ministry of Economic Development, noted that government has already begun to recoup those funds.
I believe the fuel price will soon start to see some decrease. Internationally, we have seen a slight decrease, no? And so we're hoping that it will impact our nation sooner or later.
But aren't we relying on that contingency fund and repaying that fund before we can see taxes go down? Before we can see fuel prices go down?
Well, not necessary, but there will be some adjustments that we'll need to make onto the fiscal budget, no? As there was a lot of monies that were used from the contingent fund, but definitely you will have to replenish, but you will not do it overnight. Definitely there will be a formula on how to work on it. No?
So there's no time period at this time when that fund will be replenished, or how far are we along in terms of replenishing those monies?
It's just started. So they still have a long way, but definitely I don't think the government will pass all this cost to the consumers. No, it's not that way. We understand that inflation is an issue, and the government will do everything possible to pass on this cost of fuel and to enjoy the cost of fuel to the Belizean population as soon as that benefit can come to Belize.
During the launch of the MSME Roadshow on August 4th, an announcement was made that the government of Belize is proposing to offer MSMEs $1 million in duty exemption, which can be accessed all in 1 year or over a period of 4 years as a form of tax relief. On Monday, Dr. Osman Martinez, CEO in the Ministry of Economic Development, said that the proposal is far-reaching and will increase economic activity as well as reduce poverty.
I don't think we are losing taxes. It's an investment. So it's an investment in our MSMEs, and that's very important because it was a promise through Plan Belize that MSMEs will be supported. In addition, every country, especially in Latin America and the Caribbean, MSMEs should be the backbone of our economic development and growth. Without the MSMEs, we won't be able to move forward. Why? Because MSMEs, for example, in Belize contribute to almost 75% of our GDP, generates almost 50% of employment. So they're huge, but what about the impact that it will have in the reduction of poverty, in the economic activity, reducing trade, So it's not a loss, it's an investment, but one of the main takeaways is, one, that it will generate more jobs. Two, it will formalize some of the MSMEs. Remember, we have a huge informal market, it's 50%. And this policy will definitely help to move the informal to the formal market, which is very important for us because we will be able to capture a more reliable data and which will also impact GDP.
The government of Belize is not prepared to change its stance on Vulcan Mineral Company and its proposed mining plans near Gales Point, Manatee. As we reported, Minister of Natural Resources, Cordell Hyde, says the government of Belize will not approve a mining permit for the company because residents have made it clear that such operations are not welcomed in their community. Today, the CEO in the Ministry of Blue Economy briefly gave her support for Hyde's position.
Well, definitely we know that that will not really go anywhere. What they have been proposing has pretty much been has been squashed, has been blocked. So that's not going to happen. So we don't need to discuss Vulcan.
The proprietors are saying that they're coming to Belize and that they're hoping to have a seat or some sort of discussion with government heads. Are you guys willing to sit with them?
There's nothing wrong in sitting and listening, but we have to stick firm to our decisions.
Just ahead, Tourism Police Unit receives donation from Ministry of Tourism.
Hospital Galenia cuenta con las 4 más importantes certificaciones hospitalarias en el mundo, incluyendo la certificación internacional AENOR, que avala las mejores prácticas para evitar la propagación del SARS-CoV-2 en los hospitales.
Hospital Galenia, más que un hospital.
When all hope is lost and the days ahead look grim, we find ourselves looking for someone to shake things up, rescue us, and point us in the right direction. What if the one we've been waiting for has been here all along? Join us for our new series, Troublemaker, as we learn about a man who wasn't afraid to stand up for what's right to make this world a better place.
Keep still now.
Ouch.
I tell you no move.
Ma, you really can't get a mannequin for this, ma? Really?
Well, son, if I never lend you the $2,000 to buy the kids' computer and the book, I may have the money for buy my mannequin.
It's definitely better to borrow from the bank than from your friends or relatives. This way, all you owe is money.
Would you like me to turn around?
That would be good. Turn on, turn on, turn on.
Take advantage of the back-to-school promotion currently being offered by the Belize Bank.
Off goal, what a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi. Off goal, what a goal from Leo
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marion Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Last week, travel media brand Passport Heavy premiered its Belize episode of the popular television program after filming at various locations across the country over a period of 30 days. During that time, host Jabril Agoro visited tourism destinations, including San Pedro, San Ignacio, and Plasencia. The involvement of the Belize Tourism Board in facilitating the television crew is a good look for the country, which is being showcased in grand fashion. Minister of Tourism Anthony Muller spoke about the production.
Influencers are an important part of the business right now, as you know, and Passport Heavy has a flair for it. Actually, he sent me a message this morning and talking about how excited he was to come to Belize and the feedback that he has gotten after he has posted his video. I think it does great justice for the diversity of Belize, and we will continue to build on those initiatives using digital and using traditional media.
Tourism Minister Anthony Muller and other government officials returned from a working visit to Canada last week, where they met with representatives from various airline companies. During those meetings, Muller and his team discussed the likelihood of flights from Canada to Belize, increasing the number of overnight tourist arrivals at the PGIA. According to Muller, Belize is also trying to attract visitors during the summer months, which are traditionally the low season for tourism.
Well, we had good meetings in Canada. We met with several airlines over there. We had we did 3 cities in about 4 days. And so we met with WestJet, we met with Air Canada, we met with jetliners, we met with another airline. And so the strategy is for us to be able to work with the airlines to build more capacity into the country, especially in the slow season. So instead of just seasonal traffic to Belize, we want to expand that in terms of days that are not busy. For example, the capacity at the airport during 11 and 3 on a Saturday, that's where we have an issue. But then you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and other days that have more capacity. And so that was the bottom line. We have had good reports already from our meetings, and we believe that within the next couple of months, we should see increased capacity into Belize from out of Canada. Now, the airline industry is saddled by a lot of operational issues. No pilot planes right now are delayed in terms of being those that are being on order, and so it is going to take a while for these meetings, the benefits from these meetings, to be had.
How do you convince these big airline companies that we have enough rooms for their tourists?
Well, we have a national occupancy for about 35%, right? So we have a high season and then we have a low season. What we're trying to do is reduce the low season. We have more capacity in the summer months, obviously.
On Monday, the Tourism Police Unit received a donation of motorcycles and bicycles from the Ministry of Tourism to assist personnel from the agency with patrolling the streets of Belize City and other tourist destinations. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
Since its inception, the Tourism Police Unit has been working carefully to ensure the safety of the citizenry, as well as the security of visitors who call on Belize. The team of officers attached to the unit has done its best with the limited resources at its disposal. On Monday, the Ministry of Tourism, via the Belize Tourism Board, donated 8 motorcycles and 10 bicycles to the men and women of the Belize Police Department who are assigned to the unit.
We have had a long working partnership to ensure that the tourism industry is safe, to ensure that Belizeans are safe. Far too often people say we're trying to make tourists safe, but we have to be safe at home first, and then that will be projected to the international arena. Now, we can look at other destinations throughout history that crime has impacted significantly in terms of its economy, in terms of its tourism industry. Acapulco, which was one of the leading cities in Mexico for many, many years, is now a relative ghost town because of crime and violence in that area.
Accepting the donation on behalf of the BPD was Commissioner of Police Chester Williams. He too spoke about the cooperation with the Belize Tourism Board and what it means for the well-being of all stakeholders in the travel and leisure sector.
As you would know, that over the years we have forged a very strong partnership between the police and the BTB. That partnership has led to the police getting a number of resources to be able to effectively perform our duties in areas that are known as tourist destinations. It is difficult for central government to provide everything we need for police to do their duties, and so when we have these type of partnership, it is extremely good, and at the end of the day, the stakeholders in the tourism industry will benefit.
The dirt bikes and bicycles will be distributed to TPU offices across the country. Upkeep beyond the donation itself, however, falls on the Belize Police Department.
While we get equipments, they will only last as long as we take care of them. And so servicing, maintenance is essential, and I'm sure the commander is going to make sure that we do what needs to be done for them to last as long as we want them to. Moving forward, we continue to look forward for that good bond between ourselves and the BTB, and I see my good friend in the corner there, Mr. Evan Tillett, has been very helpful to the police, working with us. I was told just a few minutes ago that the tourism police have now been given the downstairs of this building to be used as an office because upstairs was very tight for them to operate, and so now they have more office space.
According to Minister of Tourism Anthony Mahler, government is prepared to assist the unit with the necessary training opportunities.
These equipment that we're giving is just a start. We want to collaborate with the police department to ensure that they are well equipped to be as efficient as possible. And that includes training, that includes other equipment that they may need to ensure that Belizeans as well as our guests are safe.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is also available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.